guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and I have some very exciting news that I've been waiting a really long time to post because I wanted to make sure the process went good and everything for me to actually be able to talk about it. So yeah, I joined the Air Force. I'm still kind of like, what? But I'm excited because I want to make this series because I personally had 20,000 million questions, and so I want to cover the 20,000 million questions that I had because I know that it's going to be really helpful for people because I understand. I was so lost, I didn't know what the heck to do, and YouTube was a main resource that I had, and it was great, but I really want to give you a full-on experience, and I really want you to understand what you're going to go through because my experience is not going to be your experience, I can tell you that, but I want to give you kind of a broad spectrum of what might happen and what you can expect. So I'm really excited and I still can't believe this is happening. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I joined the Air Force Reserves. I was originally going to go active, but after thinking about it, and I can definitely promise you that I thought about it a lot. I did not just sign it all in 2 weeks and it was done. And the first disclaimer I'm going to have for you is the Air Force does take a long time, but it's okay. And I honestly like that it took a while because it helped me to stick with it and not just be like, okay, well I could just go this and do it and get it done and be at basic right now with another branch. So essentially I want to talk about my Meps experience first. I know that Meps is totally terrifying. Much what this video is going to be about is just me talking about my Meps experience. This experience is not going to be the same as yours, I can guarantee that, but I just want to give you a bottom line of what's going to happen because that's what I wanted to know, and I wanted to have peace of mind going in there. And the night before I was freaking out, leading up to it I was freaking out because I had about a week before I went, and I was freaking out, hands down freaking out. And then I realized the morning of, I was like, I need to calm down because I'm gonna fail this if I'm freaking out. So just disclaimer there, like, don't freak out, and I promise you I'm gonna give you what you need to know. So let me find the folder. That's not the right folder. That's my contract folder. So I got a folder. It basically just says Air Force Reserves because that's what I am, obviously. And it pretty much he just gave me instructions on, like, it basically just, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it just shows you what you're allowed to wear and stuff, and it just gives you basic guidelines for like what to do the week of, so like before you go. So for example, I left on a Sunday night. Since I was reserves, I had to drive myself to Meps, which Meps stands for Military Entrance Processing Station. And it sounds intimidating, but it's really not. It's really a breeze. You just have to listen to what they say and go to where they say to go, and you're fine. The people really are not scary, at least at mine, and they are going to try to be your friend, and that's when they're going to be like, oh, you need to talk. No, they're not your friends. You just go in there, you do your thing. So I got there on a Sunday night. The hotel was, pretty nice. It was just, a normal hotel, but it was connected with the Meps people. So essentially when I walked in there, I think I said that it was about an hour away. I walked in there. I had no clue where I was going. I was assuming that I went to the front desk, and they were like, oh, are you here for Meps? And I was like, yeah, because I looked like a lost duck because I had to go by myself, and it was really just awkward. So I go in there, I go in the little room, the Freedom Lounge I think is what they call it, and the lady basically briefs me on everything, and then she makes me watch a video that I already watched because I watched 20,000 YouTube videos about what to expect the next day at Meps. So that was fine. I already knew that. And then she said, okay, you need to be, if you leave, you have to go with someone, and here's your key, la la la, don't go on other floors. You're gonna get briefed on the fact you can't go on other floors, the opposite sex, whatever. Like, it's not complicated, just follow the rules or you're gonna get kicked out. It's really not scary. So I go up to my room, and it didn't seem like there was anyone in there, and I was like, okay, this is fine, cool, I get my room to myself. No, I don't. There was basically everyone else that was there for Meps the next day was in the Marines, and I was the awkward Air Force girl. But it was fine. My roommate was going in the Marines, but she was really cool and sweet, so I wasn't really like stressed out or anything, and we kept each other accountable about being downstairs at our meetings. So after that, Pretty much it was just chill. We had dinner. The dinner was trash, honestly. Like, I wish I had got dinner before or something, because it really was not good. It was like lasagna or something, and I'm just not my friend. I don't know. It was not good. So after that, the next morning, this is the fun story about my Meps experience, is I freaking lost my car keys, and it was like, we had to be down there at 5:10, I think, and your girl lost her freaking car keys, and I was driving my friend's car, so that made it 10 times worse because I had put her key on my keys. So I was high-key stressed at 5 a.m. going to Meps. So long story short, I was able to find my keys. Our wake-up call was actually not that bad. It was like 4:45, I think, and we just had to be down for breakfast about 5. A lot of people say that they had to be up at 4, but I got lucky. Didn't have to be up that early because I was about like maybe 10 minutes away from where Meps was, from the hotel. I feel like I'm talking 90 miles an hour, and I'm sorry, but this is a lot of information, and I feel like I'm going to forget something, so sorry in advance. So I had breakfast. They say not to eat, like, don't eat this and that and have, they say rules. What my rules were with eating was, I was like, I just got a crap ton of eggs and I just ate something, because essentially that's all you need to do is eat. You don't need, I mean, it just depends on if you know yourself and you can't have too much sugar or it affects your body and your levels and stuff, then that's fine. But I was stressing myself out trying to be like, okay, well, I can't have too much salt because that's going to affect this and I'm going to fail it. And I started being paranoid for no reason. So don't, like, if you just eat normal and your stuff is normally fine when you go to the doctor, that's basically me. I usually am perfect on all my stuff. So don't, like, just eat and you're fine for the most part. Like, and also drink lots of water. This was kind of hard because I knew I was taking the ASVAB, but I knew that I really was scared that I wasn't going to be able to pee whenever I went to do the pee test. Well, I had to hold it the whole time, and it was bad, but I passed the test and I peed, so it's fine. Like, I passed everything. But I'm kind of jumping all over the place. But yeah, so drink lots of water in the morning just to stay hydrated, and you definitely want to pee in the morning before you do your actual pee test. So like when you're at the hotel, please pee. Yeah, that's just my preference on that. So after we get breakfast done, whatever, the guy told me to go get my car. So I go get my car, cool, I wait behind the bus, and we left. We went over to Meps. It wasn't bad. I parked at the Meps office, and then we all got in like 4 lines. The shippers went first. Pretty standard from what I watched on other videos. We went through security. Please don't, like, my number one tip is, if you have a weapon or something, don't forget you have it, because they'll find it, 1, and 2, don't play dumb like you didn't know you had it. There was a couple guys who were playing like dumb that they didn't know that they had it. Like, what's the point of having a knife to defend yourself, or a taser, if you don't remember that you have it? Sorry, that's my rant of the day. But after security, they told me to go put my stuff in the little cubby room until I got done with everything. So I went and put it over there, and then I had to go to the liaison for the Air Force, and they gave me my sticker. He gave me the wrong sticker, and I was like, oh, this is not my name. So I went back in there. It was really awkward. I was like, oh, this is not my name. And I signed for the sticker, so it was awkward. I think I was signing for my lunch, and the lunch was not good. But so since I was reserves, I only had to be there half a day, but I really didn't know that. So, wait, actually, no, yeah, I did, because my recruiter told me that. I'm getting all confused, because I knew another girl who was going active that she was there. Like, I knew her personally. So I thought that was kind of cool that I got to go through Meps with her. But yeah, so we go sit down. We basically wait for everyone to get the thing, and then we go to the medical room to get our medical briefing. The lady was actually really funny, and she kept me awake from like 7 to 8 or whatever, because she said the medical briefing is so boring and she hates doing it. So she kind of just went through the high key, like, important stuff, and then she just kind of, she made it go pretty fast, so it wasn't too boring. But you do your thumbprints and fingerprints and all that stuff every time you go to each station. So if you're going to the ASVAB, you'll do that, I think. No, you don't. Actually, no, you don't. So I went to medical briefing, and then they tell you to go in the room and sit down, and it's just like a classroom with pencils, and you read this thing, and then, yeah, that's good. And then that's where you do all your paperwork, which it's really not a lot of paperwork. You really just do your basic information. You say if you've been to the hospital, la la la. you don't gotta write that. Like, I'm not saying lie at all, but what I'm saying is that you don't have to, if you stubbed your toe and you had to go to the hospital for stubbing your toe and they said you were fine, you don't have to sit there and write the hospital you went to for stubbing your toe. That's not what they're wanting. They just want to make sure you're not going to die. So if you had a heart attack, they'd want you to list that. And I mean, that's going to disqualify you, one. But I'm just saying, you don't need it. Because there was some people who, I was like, goodness, how are you, like, honestly, I was like, how are you alive? You've been to the hospital so many times. Because I was kind of just like, because I don't have any medical history. So I was just sitting here like, dang, that's a lot of hospitals. But I think one of them was writing something about, because she's had kids, so she was writing, I don't know, I'm just being dramatic, but that's my 2 cents on, you don't have to, if you freaking stub your toe, because they want you to talk, and they're like trying to disqualify you, so it's like a double whammy thing. Your recruiter's trying to get you in, and they're trying to disqualify you, but you don't have to tell them that you stubbed your toe, because they want to, yeah, okay. We covered that. After the medical briefing, we did our tattoo sheet and piercings, all that stuff, and then after that we get sent to go take the ASVAB. Well, I have to pee, but they were like, you need to hold it, and I knew I needed to hold it. Wait, no, I forgot to mention, we did the breathalyzer after the paperwork, and then it was fine because no one was drinking or whatever, so that's good. And also, don't drink mouthwash. Please don't drink mouthwash. Don't use mouthwash, because that can also set the breathalyzer off. That's one of the tips I heard, so just be mindful of that. But you can brush your teeth, that's fine. And also take a shower the night before, because they want you to be nice and hygienic, so that's nice, so you don't smell. Or you can take one in the morning, whatever. But then after that, we go to take the ASVAB. I need a pee, but they're like, hold it, basically. Like, I didn't say that out loud, but they're just like, hold it, and then as soon as you get back, just tell us you need a pee, and that's good. Because if you need a pee, like, after your test, go do it, because then you get that part over with and you're good. So after I go take the test, the ASVAB wasn't that bad. I mean, I did study. It wasn't bad at all, and I passed. I was nervous. I did make a higher score than I thought I was going to from the PICAT, I think, so that's good. But I really didn't think it was hard. It's just, I mean, you need to study. That's pretty much it. And I can do a video on the ASVAB, but I mean, I'm just saying it wasn't hard for me. Like, I passed it. It's fine, but I know for other people, and I respect, like, I understand that some people just do not do good on it, and so I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm cool, I passed it on my first time. I'm just saying that for me, it wasn't that challenging, but I had just got out of high school, so that's just my 2 cents on the ASVAB. If you need more clarification on any of these, like, things that I'm going through really fast, just let me know, like, comment, message me, whatever, because I understand that I'm going through really fast. I'm just trying to touch all the topics and make this not a 20,000 minute video. So after the ASVAB, we went back to medical. I went back to medical. I signed in and everything, and that's when I went and sat down for a second, and then a lady came over, and she's like, come sit over here, and that's when she did my blood pressure, I think. Yeah, my blood pressure and oxygen, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if they did the oxygen thing. But they did my blood pressure. It was fine. And then I told her, I was like, hey, by the way, I need to pee. And then I said something about, because I was on my period at the time, so I was like, great. I literally just started 2 days ago. That's going to be gross. So I asked her, I was like, does that matter? And she's like, no, it's whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So it was fine. So I told her, I was like, yeah, I need to pee. She's like, okay, cool, let's go over here. So we walked through the hallway. So there's like the hallway is like right here, and then there's a door over here, and we walked through there. And then the little area where you're going to do your exercises was on the right, and then to the left, there was, because it was a kind of like another separate room, and then you go back, and that's where the bathroom was, and then there's a window on the left side. And then there's I think the other window for the guy's side was over there, but obviously it's just a lady going back and forth, so they can't see in there, whatever. And the stalls they didn't have doors on them. And so basically I go to pee. I needed to pee so bad, but whenever I was just sitting there, I was like, no, like, why am I not peeing? I seriously was like, dude, like, why am I not peeing? And they are literally not staring you down. She was so cool about it. She's like, dude, we're not going to watch you pee in, like, the medical briefing. We're literally just there just to be there. So essentially, like, I just, like, did my pants thing, crap, sat down, peed, we're good. Like, it took a little bit, but I got it. And then after you get it, like, I got a nice sample or whatever, like, she said, yeah, that's good. So then I finished peeing. You can finish peeing, you can't wash your hands, but thankfully somehow, God bless me, I did not get it on my hands, because you can't wash your hands. You have to sign it. If you get pee all over your hands, you have to sign the thing with pee on your hand. It's gross. So I was really nervous about that. But it's fine. I didn't have to do that. Thankfully I aimed good. But after I sign it, they basically just make like they say that the lady sealed it, and you watch them and you're good. So after that, I went over and got my blood drawn. That wasn't bad. She talked to me. I think she gave me a little stress ball or whatever to get my things, because I usually have trouble. She was like, do you usually have trouble getting me blood? And I was like, yeah, I do. So that was good. It really wasn't bad. There was like she barely took any blood. And then after that, I think I went and talked to the doctor. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I went and talked to the doctor. She was really cool. Like, she was a cool doctor. She really, I mean, she just wanted to know, like, what I did, like, in my life, like, and I just told her I played sports, all this stuff, I was pretty active, and then she just asked me questions, like, nothing scary or anything, it was just basic questions, and it was pretty much just like, no, and then she asked me birth control, and I was like, no, because she kept asking me, she's like, this kind of birth control, this kind of, I was like, no, I've never had any of the ways you can have birth control, no. So, that was pretty easy for me, and then after that, we went and got my hearing done. The hearing test wasn't bad at all. I mean, I think I got perfect hearing, but it does play with your head because you think you're hearing it, but you aren't, and it's stressful, but I was fine with that. And then for the eye test wasn't bad. The depth perception test, I cannot tell you any tips or tricks or hacks for it, because I heard that you needed to move your head back and forth. The only hack I have for you is the lady told me it's not 1 or 5, so it's either 2, 3, or 4. So there's your hack of the day for the depth perception test, is it's 2, 3, or 4. So I think I got all the way up to the last one, and the last one's very hard, so I guess I didn't get that one, but I did fine on the depth perception. And then I had to read a paragraph, and I got like maybe a sentence in, and she's like, okay, you're fine on that. And then I did the actual, I think I did the actual like eye test where you just read a line, which my eyes were like blurring really bad, and I was like, I don't even know how I'm passing this right now, because I kind of hesitated. She's like, oh no, you're fine, and I'm like, am I even saying this right? But I got 20/20 on that, I think. Like, I did fine on all my testing. And then we went to the room for, we had to wait for, because some of the girls couldn't pee or something, so we waited for so long, like I felt like it was an hour. I didn't have a watch, I didn't have my phone, so I had no clue. So if you want to bring a book, you can, I'm pretty sure that they let you bring a book, because that would have been nice, because I was bored out of my mind, and I was hungry. It was a long day. So we go and do all the exercisey stuff after the long break hour thing. We go in there. You have to, that's when you have to strip to your bra and your underwear, which, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. And then that's when you do your exercises. This one, oh my goodness, right when she came over to me, I couldn't do it. So, like, everyone was staring at me because I was just me, and I could not do it. And oh my goodness, it stressed me out. But whenever we went to the actual exam, I was able to do it. So you basically just do a bunch of exercises. I could probably show you some of them. I don't remember all of them, but I could probably show you some in a separate video about the exercises, but they weren't bad at all. Essentially, after I did my physical thing, she basically told me that I had scoliosis, and I was like, oh my goodness, please do not disqualify me for this, because I was like, I didn't even know, like, if you don't know about something, it's fine, because they're literally doing an exam on you. But she said it was like so slight, and I think I maybe got told about it like when I was a kid, but I don't remember. I don't know, because I think I talked to my mom about it, and I was like, whoa, this is weird. But it's never affected me, so I mean, I was like, no, I mean, I played sports and everything, and I've been fine, and whatever. So she basically does the exam, and cool, make sure you're a female, and it's not bad at all. I was on my period, there's no pap smear, you're fine. So honestly, if you have questions about it, it's not bad. It's really, like, I was freaking out. It wasn't bad, and being on your period is like 10 times worse, so like, you're fine. You'll be fine. And so after that, I go out. That's when you basically are done with everything. You go out, and then you go out to the waiting room, and then I'm pretty sure the staff sergeant that was helping her, because there has to be someone else in there, she comes out, and she walks us to the medical thing, and she's like, oh, by the way, congratulations, you passed. And I was just sitting here, because she didn't say anything at first, and I was like, oh no, please don't tell me I failed. But she was like, oh yeah, congrats, you passed everything. And I was like, okay, cool. So I sign out of the medical station thing, and I go back to the liaison, and that's when I have to do the X Factor. The X Factor is horrible. I do not like it. It's not really that bad, but I thought I did better than I thought I did better than I did. I did not do better than I did. I did pretty bad. I still passed, like, because he said, dude, if you don't lift this, you're not going to be able to, like, you passed all the other stuff, but if you can't lift this, you basically can't do anything, like, you can't be in the Air Force. And I was like, aha, psych, I'm going to do it. So I'm pretty sure I did like 60 or 50 or something the minimum is 40, I know that, but I think I did like 50 or 60 or something. I don't know what I did, but I did the minimum at least. And by the way, I made it 44 on my ASVAB, I think. I don't know if I said that, but that's just a little insert there. So after the X Factor, that's cool. I was good to go. I pretty much signed out of everything. I got, I think I got a copy, back at the medical, they gave me a copy of my physical, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I signed out and then I was free to go home. Meps really is not scary, like, because, I mean, you might have people yelling at you, but as long as you just listen and go where they say, they're pretty nice. Like, they didn't intimidate me like how basic's gonna be, I feel like. They were just, I mean, they were nice, and you just got it done, because they do it every day, I feel like. So, I mean, my experience was pretty good. So in closing, I wanted to mention that I forgot to say that my process, I didn't have to get any waivers, I didn't have to do any, like, my process was smooth. I started back with the active guy in April, I think, and then the reason why I went ahead and just was like, okay, heck with the active, I'm just going to go reserves, is because he kind of forgot about me for like 2 months, I think, when he was supposed to be getting me a Meps date, and I don't even know what happened, because my reserves recruiter got me like in a week later. So I don't know. He was a cool, like, I honestly love the active guy, but I guess this is where kind of God was like, okay, you need to go reserves, because that wasn't working out. So I started back in April, and then I swore in probably in August. I think I swore in August 12th. Meps was July 15th, I know that. So basically April to August is the whole process, and then I should be leaving in January. So, and I pretty much chose that because I said I wanted to get some more college hours, and then I wanted to go to basic, so, because I want to get my rank up. So I'm going to take a few classes. I'm taking 4 classes this semester, and then I'll leave for basic, but I'll get a better rank. I think I'll be an E2 or E1 or something. I'll have 1 stripe, I think, because it's going to be like the 30-hour or 20-hour. I don't know. It's going to be one of those. But I just wanted to insert that there, that the process really was not that bad, and that just was my experience with no waivers, no medical history. We're good. So yeah, that's pretty much all. I don't know. I feel like I might have missed something, so if you have any questions about anything related to the Air Force, Meps, whatever, just leave them down below, and I'll be sure to talk to you. I'd love to answer your questions, because I know I had a bunch of questions. Have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to be making more of these videos. It's really exciting, and hopefully I'll be able to make a video after I graduate basic and tech school and everything. So I really hope that I helped. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video.